Good afternoon, students. In this conference, we will look at the following chapter: the effect of the contract. Once signed, the contract constitutes the law of the parties. The conclusion of the contract confer one its the principle of binding force. This principle follows quite naturally from the contractual freedom which characterizes contract law. But what happened when one of the parties failed to fulfill its obligation? 1. The execution of the contract. A. The effect of the contract between the parties. Article of the Algerian Civil Code by starting that the contract make the law of the parties. It can only be revoked or modified with their mutual consent or for the cause provided for by law, lays down the principle of the binding force of the contract, which entail the following sequences. 1. The contract must be executed. The validity formed contract must be executed in full. The binding force of the contract is based on the fact that the parties who are committed are bound by the law of the contract, the law of the parties. It is not possible for a party to cease performing its services without incurring liability unless it has obtained the agreement of the other party or if the contract stipulates this possibility. Once signed, any contracting party has the right to demand uh, performance of the contract from its co-contracting party. So when there is a dispute over the application of the contract, the judge must seek to apply it without being able to modify it. He can only interpret it. 2. The contract must be performed in good faith. The parties must perform the contract in all firmness. This assumes that they are doing everything that has been planned. Example, a party cannot replace its obligation with another or act as if it does not know the exact existence of its obligation, simply delivery equipment when the installation was also planned. This article of the Civil Code specifies that the contract must be performed in good faith. This means complying with the spirit of the contract and not using reprehension method refusing to enforce the contract. 3. The contract is irrevocable. The revocability of the contract, Article 106 of the Civil Code, is an essential condition for the existence of contract. Consent is given irrevocably since the contract is the work of two parties at least. This means that no contracting parties can free himself from it, with some exception. The contract can only be called into question if both parties agree mutual consent. At the end, for more details, I will ask you to consult the conference disposed in the platform on PDF format.